Welcome back to TakeFive Sports, and the Prime card is officially in the books. There's a lot of ups and downs, a lot of crazy things going on, but bro, I don't know. I don't even know where to start this video, bro.
Well, I'm gonna be real here. We're about to skip over majority of the undercard.
Yep.
And majority of, actually not majority of the main card, but I guess we can skim over some of them because like, I'll be real, it wasn't the most entertaining at the end of the day.
No,
like it was like whatever. I guess we'll get into more of that too later. But starting off, first fight we saw. Well, we can go into the tag team one. It's kind of a cool
alright,
fight.
bro. It was decent. I think
it deserved a draw.
It deserved
a draw. It was entertaining. Honestly, nothing really say bad about anyone. They were all cool at the end.
Nothing too crazy.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? That might have been one of the more technical fights on the entire card, which is wild to say, but
because you got Pineda, like, because they're not throwing wild, you know. They're not throwing.
They actually tried to box.
It is what it is, though. It wasn't too anything big, you know. Like people aren't pulling up to see that fight.
Yeah.
And then what was the fight after? Was it straight into Dean Waleed?
I think it was Kenny.
Oh yes. It was Kenny.
Damn, man.
That's
Kenny, Ryan Taylor, Anthony Taylor.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I'm gonna get the order going here too, so we know.
Yeah. So the Kenny Anthony Taylor fight. I don't know, man. It was disappointing.
It was Wonderson Nunes.
Okay, we'll go into the Kenny fight first, and then we'll go into Wonderson Nunes.
No, Kenny, that was just like, I hate this because I know Anthony Taylor is like this tough opponent, but he's not an influencer. He's an ex-fighter. He's destroying all these guys that he goes up against because they don't have as much experience, or he apparently he's just hugging the whole fight. They want to appeal it because they think he was just hugging too much.
To be honest, he just like, I didn't see Kenny do much. He turned back. Like for example, if you compare Kenny's last fight against Wonderson Nunes, this guy was out here looking like prime Mayweather, bro, like ducking and bobbing, weaving, throwing punches, uppercuts. He was just styling on him, and then you get into like this fight with Anthony Taylor.
I think he didn't expect Anthony Taylor to rush him right off the bat like that, and then clinch.
He came in like it was Jorge Masvidal about to throw a knee.
The knee, bro.
See, like, what the? There's just like the way he was able to just so easily like smother him.
Went to decision, right?
Yeah, I think went to decision one, but it's like the way he just like smothered him and just like kind of prevented Kenny from being able to do anything.
I heard he's going for an appeal though. Like he's just like he wants to see if he can get overturned to a tie or.
I don't think so because to be honest, if you look at it, he didn't really do anything.
Like, I don't know what was going on
like
last night with these hugging fests, bro.
If you compare like his old fights, like it's just like it's kind of sad too. Because,
that's why,
like, especially after the last one, everyone was like, "Oh, Kenny's like the guy. He's supposed to be one of the biggest guys that are representing the scene."
Yeah,
you know, like
that's why I don't like Anthony Taylor or guys like Tommy Fury in the scene, because it's just hurting the scene in the long run. You know, like you like it took away Saul Poppy's momentum, and then he versed Slim, and whatever happened, you know, and then he versed Kenny, and now it's like, okay, who's Kenny gonna fight next? You know, like he lost this fight. He has I think he has like two losses on his record now.
It's like who's Anthony Taylor fight?
Yeah,
we're not getting better. And like
you go fight Tommy Fury. You know he did fight Tommy Fury before though.
Yeah,
he boxed him with like so.
But it's like the thing is like he's not good enough to be like up there. But
like,
it's like he's too good for this scene.
Who else? Who else do you fight now? Does KSI take the Anthony Taylor fight?
No.
Like to just get like a dub, you know, a quick dub, going to the. I don't know. Like I didn't like the fight was alright. It was what it is. I feel like Kenny is a madman for taking this fight. I feel like you should have just moved the Gibb Kenny fight onto the Misfits card. It's such a big card already. People want to see that fight. I know Gibb was being difficult about it, but like, bro, should have tried to find a way to make that happen. Like, you got Prime sponsoring the event, you got Steak sponsoring the event.
Especially now you have to.
The money is there, bro.
Especially now you're really gonna have to, because like you're gonna need someone to carry on this scene.
Oh god, I think this, bro. We'll get into that after though. Like,
but okay, whatever that fight, whatever happened. Then we had Wonderson Nunes, my mate Nate. Honestly, my mate Nate kind of surprised me.
You look nice.
Like, he was kind of nice. He came in with a good job. Like, you know, he looked somewhat technical. Obviously, like in comparison to like the scene, etc. Looked very technical. Same with Wonderson Nunes. It was a good fight. My Nate won. I think it was a fair win. And yeah, like honestly, just entertaining. Whatever is good. Then we get into the Dean the Great Waleed Sharks. Damn, bro.
Yo, that was
a fight.
It was fight in the night. I'll
be real. That actually looked like a real fight.
Like a clean. I thought it was gonna end quick when Waleed hit him with like the right hand right at the beginning. He stunned him a little bit, but no, they can box, bro. Dean can actually box.
They both can, and they both look like legit. And like it goes back to the whole, I guess, like the level to this. Like they're kind of like the one people. If you look at that card, like there's like, oh, these guys look like they box or like they know boxing. They look like just like amateurs, like they was in boxing, like just starting off.
Yeah.
And like really technically sound and actually like fighting and throwing hands. That was hella interesting.
I kind of wish like Dean or like Waleed kind of came back at the end and knocked him out, then we could maybe have a trilogy fight, you know?
Because that
and
was
then you
a
could keep
fight.
pushing. A fight of the night for sure.
But what's crazy, like Dean was smoked. He was. I
That,
was surprised
that
the
ref,
ref was
that
letting.
ref was letting Waleed literally get CTE, bro. This is crazy. This guy was getting battered the whole fight. There's times where you knew Waleed wasn't there, like he wasn't all there, bro.
Bro, the guy got his mouth guard punched off. The ref picks it up,
He's
just holds it in
still
hand, and
bro,
he just
getting
stares at
comboed
him.
in the corner.
Just stares at him while like thing drops a 10-piece to his head,
Like,
and he's like, "Oh wait, chill. You guys put him up guard back." Like, bro, what are we? That ref did not care, bro.
What are you doing, bro? Like and then he was getting pieced. There's times where Waleed is literally like this. You know he's not fully there. He's trying to clinch.
Those are heavy shots.
And it's
like he was getting dry.
But then in the final round, he had like a he had a bro. He was coming back. I thought he was about to knock him out and pull up like a huge upset.
This guy had that Creed moment. He just got up and was swinging for the fences.
I was like, bro, if this guy actually does this in the last 10 seconds, but then, bro, I don't know, like maybe you got gassed, the head punishment was too much, you know?
Legit concussed in front of my eyes, bro.
He needs to rest up. I think he can come back and fight on other like cards, especially after this performance. You know, their rivalry is probably done. I don't think they'll do a third fight. Like maybe if you knocked them out, they could have done the trilogy fight. But now I don't even know who you put these guys up against.
Is, like, I don't even know where they go from here because like they're clearly levels above a lot of people.
Exactly.
And it's, like, there's no one.
Dean's out here calling out Ryan Garcia.
Yeah. Okay. Relax. Like you guys. Honestly, we'll get into that a little bit later too. Like, there's levels to this whole thing, and I think this whole card has proved there is no one in this scene that's
good enough to take on. What about like a Jake Paul taking on those MMA guys though?
I mean, we can talk about it a little bit later too, but like I've always said, the thing with like Jake Paul is like, you know, we always want to say like, oh, he's not a boxer, and he's versing like, so yeah, it's like for him as an influencer taking on people like, and I was having this conversation and I was like, the fact that he's an influencer and he beat people like, oh my god,
well, like Jake Paul.
Yeah, like
Jake Woodley, Askren, Silva.
Yeah, you know. Sorry, that's what I was gonna say. Like Anderson Silva and stuff. People are trying to say in that Anderson Silva fight, like the fact that Jake B is like, oh, it's like a 45 or 50-year-old Anderson Silva. I'm like, sure it is, but Anderson Silva was coming off literally a win in boxing.
It's still impressive.
And to pretend like, you know, he had no skills. Anderson Silva is still that guy, he still strikes. And to go up against Jake, who's like an influencer, which at the end of the day, yes, he is still an influencer. And he went toe one against Anderson Silva, knocked out Tyron Woodley. Like, let's not pretend that these are like small accomplishments, right? He's not good enough to go and fight like Canelo. Like, obviously Canelo would smoke him in 2 seconds. He wasn't even good to take. He wasn't good enough for Tommy Fury either.
Exactly.
But it's like there's levels to it. But like, let's not pretend like, you know, like
Jake's not that guy.
Yeah, like in the sense that like there are levels. I don't even like the guy, but it's like there are levels. Obviously not good enough to be a pro boxer, but for an influencer to take on like all those UFC guys, it's not. Yeah. And like even be like Nate Diaz and stuff. Yeah, like Nate Diaz is not a striker, but whatever. Like, you're an influencer. He still won, you know.
At the end of the day too, like that Dean and Waleed fight, they look nice.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, from what we've seen,
they're not good anymore.
Say Ryan Garcia comes in. This is another problem too, right? Say Ryan Garcia comes in, accepts a Dean fight, right?
This guy could take. I think this guy could take half that.
You know, he said he could take 4 of them in one day, and I believe him.
Yeah.
4 of them in one day.
After the other.
I think he could 100% take them. His hands are too fast for any of them to even catch. There's
like 1 punch knockout. Like, exactly. It's not even like he's throwing 4 punches. It'll be 4 people, 4 punches.
There's that clip of him throwing a left hand that was so fast you could barely even see it, and they called it the Phantom Knockout. Yeah, it was. He's taking that. So like, this is another problem too. Aside from him smoking all of them. Like, say he accepts a Dean fight, right? And, you know, he randomly, he just like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. And he comes on a Misfits card. Obviously, you're gonna want, you don't want to waste that fight. You want it to put it on like a stacked card, like a prime card, right? But then you have, say you do KSI versus Jake. Who's taking the main event? Obviously, you would want to be Garcia, right? Yeah. But then KSI's like, nah, it's my thing. I want to go into the main event. Yeah. So this is what I'm saying. Like, you have,
but it's also like, bro, you're really gonna take like the guy that everyone's gonna consider your top guy, just get absolutely demolished in 1 punch. Bro.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and then then goes that's what Tommy did to KSI. That's what Anthony Taylor did to Saul Poppy. Yeah. These actual fighters are destroying the influencers.
And it's killing the scene.
Like,
so
I think that's what they want though.
Like the Dean Gray thing, that fight happened. Good fight. Honestly, it was right decision. Dean actually dislocated his shoulder too, which is crazy. He was fighting with one hand.
When he was going like this. Yeah, when he was.
Yeah, I thought the last round I was like, bro, just high guard and just.
And he's being with one hand. That's crazy.
Geez, stop with the head movement, bro. Just high guard and hug it out.
The feud is done, bro. The rivalry's done, man.
After that, we had the. Oh, then it was their boy.
It is Slim and Salt Poppy,
go first, because I'm gonna have to go first.
Slim and Salt Poppy. You know what? I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna go right off the bat. I'm gonna eat my words. Slim is the hitman. You know, I believed in Saul Poppy. I said I was overlooking Slim. I was saying he can't do it. Like Saul is gonna destroy this man. I saying he don't got that dog in him. But you know what? He was getting beat up the first 2 rounds, and then something happened. He awoke, and he hit that man with a 1-2, had him stumbling, then hit him again, knocked him on the ground, got that TKO finish. I didn't know. I generally thought Slim was gassed. I thought he had pillow hands. I was like, yeah, he's knocking that man. He's not knocking that man out in this fight. Like, it looked like it wasn't affecting him too much, but apparently he hits hard. I'm gonna eat my words and give it to Slim.
All right, let me
yeah, this is the number 1 hater though.
I'm gonna look in the camera just like I did when I first said it. Slim, you're not a fraud. I'm a fraud. I was wrong. I really came out here multiple times, tried to slander it, say you weren't that guy, said he couldn't do it, said he's beat no one. Well, I'll have to eat my words here too, man. That was a big win. God, like, oh my God, like, I didn't think he had it in him. Straight up, like you're saying, I didn't think he had it in him.
When Saul Poppy got knocked down,
he might actually be the hitman.
He is, bro. Like, at this point, I generally thought, even in that fight, I'm like, oh, he's not hitting him hard, bro. Like, man doesn't know. The first round,
I would be real here. Okay, as if I were to analyze the fight, the first rounds he's getting pieced up. I was like, wow, this is exactly what I thought. I was like, see, like, finally he's going against someone that can throw, and he wasn't that guy. And then, like you said, bro, he awoke. He turned into the hitman. Bro.
I don't know where it began. Man. I don't know where this began. Like, this came out from. Like, I was like, oh, yo, he's getting pieced, he's getting countered. Like, Salt was destroying this guy. I was like, yo, okay, this is gonna end soon, bro. Like,
what we were all saying. Then it's like, nah, man, he proved us wrong.
And then when it comes to Salt now, like, we're talking about, like, Slim, of course we're gonna give him his props. You know, he earned it.
I think going forward, like, I can't overlook him anymore. Man.
I can't. Like, because I'm saying, like, if he goes against Gibb or something, I don't know if Gibb is just gonna just dog walk him. I think he has a chance.
It's crazy, man. And I'm not even like a fan like that. But it's like, I gotta give the credit.
Bro, like, we got the undercover fan that was back there watching with us, bro. Like,
you're the undercover fan the whole time.
Like,
as soon as you won,
guy's like, oh, I want both of them to win. And as soon as Slim won, he's like, yeah.
But, like, man, I'm not gonna pretend like I'm not a Slim fan all of a sudden. But it's like, I gotta give the respect where it's due. Yeah. And like the level of hate that I was putting out there, like,
insane.
Yeah, like, I gotta eat my words on that. But yeah, let's get into Saul Poppy.
Yeah, we're going to Saul now. I feel so bad for this guy because honestly, like, I'm not saying he's trash. It's just like maybe the weight cut. You know, he lost a little bit of power with that. Maybe his chin wasn't as strong. Maybe this isn't his ideal weight to fight at. Yeah. I still think he has the counter punching skills because, you know, like, we've seen it before. Maybe this wasn't like maybe he's just not fighting in the right weight class, but I think the hype has kind of died down a lot. Like, he's lost at least 80% of that hype, you know, especially after the Anthony Taylor one. Like, that, they were so, I don't know why they made that fight. That killed his hype, and then on top of this, now you're like burying the guy.
But see, the thing is, like, that one was like, you could get away with it because whatever, it was 3 rounds, and it was like, oh well, if we were to continue,
maybe he would win.
There's always gonna be that maybe, you know, there's that maybe. So it was like, you can, you know, you get like a pass, whatever. It did kill the hype train. Like, we thought he was like unstoppable.
Yeah,
it is what it is. But now it's like we saw him get like knocked out, and it's like the way it was, like the fashion it was. Where it's like, okay, maybe we gotta dial it back. Yeah. Because everyone, including ourselves, like, and this isn't really on him, because it's not like he was coming out there saying like he's the guy. This is kind of the fault on us as
it's
like
us hyping him up. But no,
we put him
also,
on this. Yeah, where like we like pushed him to that pedestal.
Like, he was also like, even in like interviews with Slim, like,
but when everyone was always like, he's the guy. Like, he's the most technically sound. Like, he looks the best.
He got to a point where he was saying like, yeah, I know I'm like one of the best in the scene. You know, like he was getting hyped, and he was like, that's the thing. He was destroying people in like ways we've never seen before. Everyone was saying Saul Poppy, he's nasty. You got that Pacquiao blessing, like all of that. So maybe again, he just bit off too much, like more than he could chew. This was the money fight to make, and I'm glad they did make it. It was an upset.
This was the fight everyone sees.
Oh yeah, this was the people's fight. This was the people's fight right here. This and bro, perfect segue. The people's fight into Dylan Dennis. He was supposed to be the people's champ.
Before he finishes, what do you think is next for Salt? Like, what do we go from there? What happens?
I think he's got one more. I think he's got one more. Not like he's got one more fight in him. I think he needs to get a dub. If he loses his next fight, I think Happy Punch will generally drop him.
I don't think they'll drop him only because he still brings the fan. At the end, it is.
After another loss though, like people are gonna be like, he's not that guy. He's not that guy.
It is. I think it is at this point. Like, it's turned into like we can't go into these fights being like, oh, he's gonna absolutely demolish. But what do you think he has to work on? Like, what do you think went wrong? Because the first 2 rounds, he was looking like what we thought. What he was. You know, like
I think he got too overly cocky. I think he gets overly cocky in the fight. Remember, he started taunting. I think he gets too too cocky. He gets too cocky a little bit too comfortable. Yeah. I think maybe he needs to move up a little bit in weight. I feel like that weight loss like he had. That's where he got the power from, his weight. And that's where he lost a lot in his shin strength too as well. So I think, don't get too cocky, don't get too comfortable. Do your game, stay safe, look for the openings, counter punch. That's what you do, don't push a guy like Slim too, especially he's pushing him up on the ropes, he's pushing the tempo, and again, I guess he'll learn what his body can do now with this weight loss, what he can and can't do. So again, I'm going to give him that another fight. To who he fights next, I generally don't know. I don't know where you go from here. I don't know if Slim and him want to run a rematch. I don't know if he gets a rematch. I'd be interested in a rematch
I think that'd
too.
Be a good fight too, because it's like, unless you get like a give in the mix.
I don't know if he goes to Kenny and he fights Kenny, because loss. Maybe next person goes after Slim. So I don't know if he does that. But the next person, they gotta choose his opponent wisely, so it's good for him. It makes sense. But if he loses that, and I hate to say it, but it's done for him, bro. It's done. And knowing Keemstar and Happy Punch, they're gonna drop this guy, bro.
The thing with me is I'll always root for him. I just genuinely I just really like him as an influence too and everything. I'm just a fan of him, and so it's I want to see him do good, and I think he can do good. Like you said, in the first 2 rounds, you see that shade where he knows what he's doing and stuff. I think it just came down to the defense at the end as well. When he started getting pieced up, I think the defense was just a little loose. So I think whatever, this is a good fight for him to reflect on. Yeah. He went a lot more rounds than we've seen him. He finally got tested. Now he knows what he needs to work on, what he can think. So I still think he can make a run.
I think he can do it. I think he can do it. Yeah.
And I think the fans are always gonna ride for him. But yeah,
I just think if he builds up too many losses, it's done.
At the end of the day, you do still have to win. Yeah. There's only it's with Deji, right?
I do think if he wins his next fight, goes on a few runs, hype will be back.
It's kind of like how Deji was, right? Deji went 0-3, 0-4, and he was taking horrible losses. Yeah. So it's but he still made that comeback, and now everyone's oh my god, Deji's the guy, right? Yeah. So I think that's what we're might get into.
Gonna see an ultimate redemption
but
arc.
We really need to see the redemption come sooner than later, because one more loss is gonna be a very big
I do think
it's gonna hurt him a lot.
I do think if Misfits drop him now though, it's gonna be a huge fumble.
No, they won't drop him.
Yeah, I don't think they will though.
He's literally one of their biggest creators.
Exactly.
This could have easily been a main event on another Misfits card.
And he does bring in the Philippine demographic.
Oh, of course. It brings in us, bro. It brings in a lot of people. Everyone loves him. So it's the people's champ.
So hopefully he gets his bearings back. Hopefully he gets his get back. Maybe we'll see the rematch.
But Slim is the champ.
Slim is that guy. Slim is that guy. Who was Slim calling out at the end of this fight? Didn't they ask him? No, it was Jarvis came out of nowhere.
Oh, Jarvis tried to call him on. Honestly, Slim handled well. He's bro, pipe down.
Apparently Jarvis, he's gonna fight in November in the next Misfits card. They already have him signed and whatever. I don't know who he's gonna fight though, but he's you gotta work your way up. Yeah. Maybe Salt Poppy Jarvis fight.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe I don't know what they do, but going on to the people's fight, what people really said was the main event. The Dylan Dennis, the Dogs, and then Logan Paul. Oh god,
what the hell?
This was a travesty to boxing, bro. This was a shameful display.
That last two main event was just with the problem that everyone says with this scene.
Literally, bro. How am I gonna sit here and try and defend influencer boxing to people when shit like this is going on, man? For real, bro. As soon as Dylan came out with that guard, I was like, okay, maybe he's just trying to gas him out. Maybe first. I was thinking maybe first 3 rounds he'll try to gas Logan out, then he's gonna start unleashing the hands. Bro never unleashed the hands.
Unleashed 4 punches, it somehow landed.
Bro, apparently in total he had 8 to 9 punches in the entire fight. Then he went back on his back, tried to open up guard, pulled the jujitsu, went for 2 takedowns.
The last takedown, bro.
He slipped, man. But it's because he's wearing boxing gloves too.
No,
bro,
but it's bro, why are you shooting for if you're gonna shoot, you gotta
commit, yo.
And it's already honestly I'm not condoning that, because you shouldn't do that in this fight. I know Nate did it to Jake as a joke as well, but it's if you're actually gonna go for it, that's kind of crazy. Yeah, he was basically trying to incite the riot at that point.
Bro, I know. I remember everyone was talking about people going for takedowns on Jake. This guy actually did it, bro. This guy actually went for it.
But he didn't get it, man. He didn't get the take. But it's
I don't know what. There's not much really to talk about besides Dylan didn't punch. He's barely landing.
Do you think he actually trained? Now that I think about it,
I don't.
Do you think he's just trolling?
I think he was.
He might just be the ultimate troll.
I think he just came in for the payday, honestly.
I think Dylan was the ultimate troll. This guy went on the 4-month spree of promoting this, sold out the pay-per-view, came in there, didn't throw a single punch, and then he still got the little highlight reels at the end when they got the security rushing in to fight him and stuff.
But the one thing I want to say too, this isn't a W for Logan either. He might have won the fight.
He did. Okay, let's get this clear. he did smoke him in the boxing part of it.
Okay.
And you're like, yo, this guy was basically punching a punching bag.
Yeah.
And you know, like, this is coming from like two people that have been backing Dylan for the last little while. Like, he got pieced up.
So
at the end of it, he got pieced up.
So okay, let me frame that. So Logan got the W like normal wise for the boxing thing, but I think overall he took an L just because he didn't knock him out. You know, I feel like a guy has been calling your wife literally a whore for like 4 months and posting photos of her online, whatever. You go in there to kill this man, and then he made up some excuse saying, "Oh, I forgave him before the fight, so my emotions don't control me." Bro, you got to get him out of there. You got to knock him out. Because now he's on Twitter, but he's back on Twitter saying you didn't knock me out.
I think the thing was like that was like the moral victory that like Dylan was going for. I think like in his head he was like, I just got to get through it.
Oh yeah, and he did.
And then Logan's like, if he sticks to his thing where he gives me his purse, I'll verse him in MMA. Like that's not gonna. I know he's gonna say like, I slipped.
It's never gonna happen.
He's
bro.
like, I slipped the 2 takedowns, which yes, he did. You gotta give him that.
But he did. But the guy's
like,
wearing boxing gloves.
But it's also like if we're actually doing like a full fight and that's all I'm going for, like
you're not gonna slip all the takedowns.
Done.
You're not stuffing all the and again, like you know how hard it is to grab someone who's fully sweaty while wearing big gloves.
It's also like if he was actually like if they were just doing like MMA from the start.
Yeah, he would have choked him out immediately.
This guy would have taken like let's
not play.
But again, it's like was it? I think the thing with like what it comes down to is like for Logan, I guess like was it all worth it?
I don't think it was worth it.
It's like you make a bag out of Prime, make a bag everywhere else. It's like was this?
I don't.
I don't know what they got paid for this. Maybe that's worth. But it's like bro, like your relationship got hit so hard.
I don't think it was worth it. 100%.
It's still going, and it's like, and then you don't get knocked out. Like, was it all worth it in the end?
And now
sure, you got a bit of your get back, but it's like, he still had the mic throw. Like, he still got his damage in somehow.
Yeah, and now like, he's on Twitter saying like, "Yo, you didn't knock me out."
And I think that's what he was going.
Yeah.
I think Dylan's the ultimate troll. We're going into this. He knew, and I was even saying this watching the fight. I'm like, watch. As soon as this fight's about to end, he's going for it. He's gonna go to choke him out, and that's exactly what happened. Then they incited the riot. And he still, it's like Dylan still got his clips out of it, you know. Like he still has the little photo of him knocking. Logan.
Yeah, he posted the photos. He's like, and then he posted McGregor is apparently saying like, "I'm impressed." Like, what are you saying, bro? Like,
and the thing is, like, do you think? Okay, let's just look at like, yes, okay, Logan won the fight, but like, I don't think Logan improved much as a boxer either.
Because that's what I'm saying too. Like we saw him go to the body, whatever. But if you improved as a boxer, you know how to get him out there quick. You know how to be able to break through that guard, punch the body so he lowers his hands, and then hit him with a few combos. Like you're clearly on the juice, bro. Or allegedly you're on the juice. So I think he's strong enough to break through the guard.
He didn't do it, bro. Like, yeah, I get it. Like the guy stayed up. Like he didn't drop him.
But even then, I feel like you should be able to get a knockdown or something, bro. Like hit him, daze him, something like that.
That's why I was like, I'm like, bro, like. He didn't really improve it, and if we were just going by like technique, like he did not improve. And then to say like for him to be like he's better than Jake, and say he's not.
And then to get the cringe on top of it, bro, he's calling out Rey Mysterio in his post-interview thing. Like, yeah, we love WWE, but like I'm out here, so I want to know who you got in mind to fight next. Like for boxing wise, like I'm not hearing you call out.
I don't think he does anything in the seating. I think he's done with it.
I think he said McGregor. He said he wants to fight McGregor.
McGregor washing him.
I don't even think McGregor's fighting him, bro. I don't think this guy's fighting again. Like who? Like bro. And I want to see people got to stop putting Logan Paul in the top 10 list, bro. He is not a top 10 YouTube boxer, bro. This guy, he came out, hit him with some body punches. That's it. Like I could do the same thing to Dylan that he was.
If he's not gonna punch,
bro.
I could, bro. If he's not,
like,
if I know that the person's not gonna throw
doing
in front
this
of me
the whole time, like
then sure, like yes, you can throw. Like it's like
we didn't get to see Logan's gas tank if it got better or not because he was getting pressured. Yeah, his mouth was open, so we don't know if it got better or if it got worse. We don't know if his striking, like when he's getting pressured, if it's good. We don't know how he deals with adversity. We never got to see how he does like any of that. Like
he gets hit.
Like, exactly.
Got hit like 3 times, and yeah, like when he did get hit, it was like.
And then when he did was getting pressured, he started running away a little bit. Like so, it's just like I didn't get to see anything from Logan. So this was a lose-lose fight on both ends. Like yeah, it wasn't the fight he wanted. Like he couldn't have predicted this. Like yeah, I get it wasn't his fault. But bro, you need to get him out of there. As soon as you see him playing games, start hitting this man, bro.
I think he was like, but for Dylan, like this coming from like I was rooting for Dylan this whole time. I was like, I was a little disappointed because I was like, come on, man, like we're gonna do all this, like we finally get to the day, like give us something.
Like I was disappointed.
At least try a little bit.
I was disappointed, but I wasn't surprised. You know.
I wasn't surprised, but it's part of me was like, I bought into the hype where I was like, no, maybe he really does come out here and do something. I knew we were gonna see like the little takedowns and stuff like that. But I was like, I knew it was obvious that was gonna happen. But I was like, I really did just want to see him go for it at least. Like, I'm questioning if he even like trained for this fight at all. And now I'm trying to think. I don't know if he did, but
I think he might have had training sessions, but not as hard as someone like the KSI. You know,
kind of a bit just came out on top because it's like again, it's like yeah, he didn't get knocked out. He didn't. He's just gonna come out and be like, yeah, I didn't care about this fight.
And then the riot happened.
And then now he got more like he's got more impressions, more views, more people support him.
But now people
actually like know him now.
But now people are talking, saying Logan might get disqualified because his security came into the ring earlier. I don't know if you've seen that,
bro. If any, this is not
can you imagine?
I mean, really, it doesn't even matter. That's just even sucks more. But then it's like, bro, why going for a chokehold? Like, I think that's okay to have a security.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Like, you know, he's not serious. Like,
it is what it is. I think most people are just using like, what the hell?
I don't know. Like, I feel like, but like, what does this mean for Dylan in the future? Going to
he's
any
not
other
gonna be
boxing promotions?
For sure, not miss it. But I think now he's just gonna go back to his like.
Do you think Dana would take him in the UFC?
You know what it is? It's like if the money is there, Dana will take him.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, like when he gets to MMA, he's not gonna be able to like pull this in the fight.
Yeah.
Right? Like the promotion, we've seen people promoting like UFC, man. Like Conor, one of the greatest promoters in UFC. Whether you agree or disagree with some of like the way he does it, he put UFC on the map.
A lot of people are watching his fights because of what he's saying.
Right? So if Dylan can bring that level of promotion, which we saw him throughout this whole thing, like when even when like Chris Hansen comes out, Gordon Ryan, like he's still quick on his feet, can still give out like the chirps and stuff. But the only difference is when you're actually going into those scenes, it's not enough for you to just like talk it. You have to be able to walk.
Yeah.
Like you can skirt by right now with like someone like Logan, like punching you, whatever, you got by. It's not gonna work. Like he would actually have to show off his fighting.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. Like it's not. You can't go and doing the same things.
Yeah, you could go up and try and do this whole thing, but
but like I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up in UFC because like bro, we've seen people like CM Punk end up in UFC.
Yeah,
right?
That's true.
So if the money's there and if he can get there and he can actually win, and is bringing promotion, like Dana would do it. But again, it's like when you get there, you gotta win. Because Dana's not gonna let you go on there.
I don't think he boxes on Misfits again, though.
Oh no, never. I think they're done.
I think he's done with this. I want to see what KSI would have to say about it. You know?
He's definitely pissed because first of all, it's like the first fight you pulled out, whatever, almost like cancel that card. Then you come into this fight, you do all this, like it's almost like you had your second job. We can't trust that you're actually gonna come and box.
Exactly.
He'll show up, but it's like, are you gonna like, you know?
He didn't box, bro. Like yikes. Yeah. That was yikes.
But whatever. At the end of the day, he kind of walked away with a moral victory. In my eyes, I guess he got the moral victory. Logan won, but like at what cost?
Yeah. And then now the main events, the KSI Tommy Fury, the Hug Fest, the Hugathon, bro. Like it's just like as soon as I started KSI doing the jumping jacks, I was like, okay. But here's my thing though. Like going into this fight, I didn't know what like I knew he couldn't. You can't box him. He can't jab him. You can't hit him with like the proper, you know, what we've seen in the videos. Like you're saying, you know, he had to do the wild stuff that that we're used to seeing, right? Because Tommy can't. He doesn't know how to prepare against that. Yep. You know, so he was doing that. So when he started doing that, I wasn't too surprised. I was like, it's looking kind of stupid, but we'll see where it goes from here. And Tommy just gonna do his regular jab, whatever. But my thing is like, he spammed that one thing over and over and over. And you're telling me in that whole training camp, you didn't practice any other thing, like maybe from southpaw, maybe like you didn't tell me you no other ways to close the distance and get in, only this, and then jab, overhand, and then when he goes with his left, you just clinch him. All Tommy had to do was as soon as he goes down, just back up and uppercut him.
Yep. Like, that's why even the announcer was saying the same thing. It's like, just throw the uppercut, it would be there, it's open. Like,
and then Tommy was like, he wasn't boxing. It was a horrible display from Tommy. Like, yeah, I get KSI was clinching, but so was he. He could have showed off way more of his boxing IQ to make the separation, to get the punches off, used his jab a bit more. Like, KSI, you can't expect anything from him because, again, he is not the pro boxer in this situation. He is doing what has worked for him in the past. And he's probably only trained that one technique. You know, yeah, he's got the reason why he was probably working that cardio so hard is because he was just going to spam that over and over. Yeah. Because that move takes a lot of energy. He's going to be doing that over 6 rounds. The fact that he even went to decision with Tommy is shameful. Like, I'm not going to say it's a W for KSI too, but again, it's a way worse look on Tommy than it is on KSI, because you need to get this guy out of there, bro. You either need to knock him out or you need to beat him in a dominant display. So it's like when you go to decision, everyone's like, oh, you can't say KSI was wrong. Like, you can't have people saying KSI was wrong. People saying, oh yeah, KSI got dominated in that fight, he lost, you know?
It shouldn't have been as close as it was. In all honesty, like, if Tommy Fury is a legitimate boxer, that should have been an easy fight.
Oh yeah.
And this is not like, again, I gotta preface this, we are fans of KSI. Like, I know we come out here and we're critical sometimes, we say this and that, but that's because, like, we try to be unbiased when it comes to, like, the actual, like, the part of the boxing. when it comes to Tommy Fury, this guy should have won that.
Oh yeah.
Like, there's no reason. Like, I understand, yes, the clinching, but right. But Tommy was also doing the same thing every time. KSI, the overhand slam. Clinch. All Tommy Fury would do is like the double jab, and then JJ goes under, clinches him. So it's like you didn't think to like, hey, maybe I should stop doing this after like him. 4 rounds.
Exactly. And there were times where KSI landed way more punches. Like how is KSI throwing more punches than the boxer, bro? Like, I know you're maybe waiting for your time, but it didn't look like it. Like, no. Okay. So back to where we were before the camera decided to cut off. But yeah, so like Fury and Wilder, it's like Wilder was throwing wild. He wasn't throwing the best technique, but Fury still found a way to move around the ring, cut off the corners type thing, you know, get those knockdowns. Fury, that's what I'm saying. Tommy is a pro boxer. He should at least be able to figure out KSI in that ring.
Yeah, it looks worse on him for getting that close. Mm-hmm. Like, what, you got away with the win, but like, you shouldn't have struggled as much as it shouldn't have been as close as it was. Now let's get into KSI. Again, coming from 2 fans, what was that, man? Like, what was that? Even if he ended up winning in that fashion, yes, you can say like, I beat Tommy Fury, blah blah. But was it like, did you like smoke him? Were we like, oh my god? Like,
I don't even know. Like, this fight shouldn't have even happened, bro.
It was just
like this fight shouldn't have even happened.
What did I always say with T? Where I was like, when we watch the training footage, watch the camps, we hear him talk. He says like, oh, I'm training these people, this people. I'm throwing you. You would think he's there practicing the craziest combos. When you look at his sparring footage, he looks so technically sound. Gets in the ring, these jumping jacks starts happening, and you keep spamming the overhand right. And what I always say, I was like, with that overhand right, it lands, but it doesn't knock him out. Then what? The whole thing leading up to is like, when I land the overhand right, you're going to sleep. You've never experienced power like me. I punch harder than Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, blah blah. He landed it. He didn't do anything. I think one time it landed, and Tommy took a step back. So the power wasn't there. And I always said, okay, so when that punch lands and it doesn't do anything, what is there? Like, what is next?
And then y'all want to.
And then there was nothing next. There was nothing. It was just like the clinch engagement, and then it's like, I don't know, like, can you really say like, oh, he decisively won that fight? Like, again, even as a fan, I'm not gonna be there and be like, yeah, he smoked Tommy Fury, he absolutely beat him. But that was a boring fight. That was just a bad fight. It was not a boxing fight. It, like you said, it looked like a hug match. I've seen like Muay Thai fights have less clinching than this, bro.
And then y'all want to sit here and clown Wade for trying to not praise the fighters, but evaluate them and say, yo, you should be doing this better, you should be doing this, and then say, oh, he's never gone to boxing ring, but you're gonna go in there and do that. Like, y'all can't have no room to talk, because I get KSI had to come in with that unorthodox style. I get he had to do all that.
And it was work. Clearly it worked because you threw off Tommy Fury. But like, you also have to do more to win. You can't just, your only way to win can't just be like the other person.
Is that what he's gonna do with Jake? Is that what he's gonna do with Jake? Just
it's the same thing now for like 3 fights. It's the same thing. There was no like. There was one little point where you saw him put his hands up and go to box, and it did not work.
And Tommy immediately clicked.
It's like a very short scene, so I don't want to read too much into it. It was probably like only like 3 to 5 seconds or whatever. But you see that little switch in him where he goes to box, and Tommy instantly shuts that down.
Yeah,
like he just shoves a jab down the middle, and JJ went right back to the jumping back.
He's got to go right back to what he was doing. Like, maybe he can do the boxing thing with Jake, because again, he's not as experienced. But when you do it, Tommy quickly saw that. But again, Tommy should see that and capitalize on moments like that. Like, he got him, but it's like you need to figure out a way quickly to kind of shut that down, shut what he's doing down. He's been doing the same thing for 6 rounds straight. You're telling me by the 4th or 5th round, like, you haven't figured this out yet? He's gonna hit you with 2 left jabs and then the right. Like, you're telling me you can't block it, punch, or you know he's coming in, just back up and uppercut.
Too, like, he just kept engaging. He kept clinching. Like, instead of clinching, counter, do something. You know what's coming. You literally did see it coming multiple times, and you stopped him.
And then you're telling me you wanna go and fight like champions, like champions, and you want to be a pro boxer. You're getting cooked by Vidal Riley. Like, Tommy, you're getting cooked by Vidal Riley if you even try to even fight this man, because you can barely hold your own against KSI. You barely beat Jake. Like, you beat Jake, but again, these aren't pro boxers. Like,
but I guess like we can go into like, yeah, he's won now. I think he's done with the scene. It doesn't make sense for him to be in scene.
Yeah.
Let's just get to the point that everyone, like, you know, do you think it was a robbery? Like, do you think KSI won that fight? Do you think Tommy won that fight? Do you think the score is messed up? Like,
I think with the point deduction taking that into, I think it should have been at least a tie. I don't think it was a KSI win. I don't think it was a dominant Tommy Fury win. Apparently, I don't know if you saw it too, the judges added up the scorecard. So instead of a split decision, it's a unanimous decision now.
Okay.
to Tommy. So one of them miscounted.
In my opinion, I think that was a draw.
Yeah, same.
Because you can't look at that fight and say KSI won.
Or Tommy won
because
dominantly.
I can't say that KSI won that fight.
Yeah.
But it's like I can see why it ended up. I can see how it ended up with Tommy, because like he did land. You saw him land some hits, and like I guess he was pushing the pace, but then KSI was. To me, it was a draw. I think it was a draw, but to sit here and me being like, oh, there's absolutely no way. Like there's no way that happened. Bro, like no, like watch it back. Like we're literally fans of KSI, so it's not me being here like I'm trying to like ride Tommy or something like, oh, this guy like won. Like just watch back the fight. What did either of them show you to be like this person dominated the fight?
I think
like,
it was
if I'm watching, I don't even know how to score it.
I think it was what Wade was saying too. He's like, at best that was a draw, but there's no way KSI lost the fight. That should have been a draw. Like it should have been a draw. You know, Tommy didn't do enough to get me saying, yo, he dominated KSI. He's out of his realm. Like,
but it's also not enough for me to be like, KSI won the fight.
No, he didn't win the fight. But the thing is, too, remember KSI took that 3-year break, fought 2 randoms, and now he's going to decision with Tommy Fury. Like, Tommy, that should not be happening.
Yeah, no, like, that's what I'm saying though. Even as a draw, that's a win for KSI.
Yeah.
Because like, at the end of the day, it's not on him to look better than Tommy Fury. Like we said from the he's not gonna outbox Tommy. That fight was more so to see if Tommy was really that guy and a real boxer as legitimate as he is. And now it showed like the gap with him and influencers is like almost closer than it might be with him and like professional fighters.
He's not that guy, bro. Like get him in a fight with literally any pro boxer, they're cooking this dude. Like, they're cooking this dude.
But it did also show that like again there are levels to this influencer thing.
Yeah.
And it's kind of killed the scene again because now you literally got the tippity top, the literal CEO. Just lost.
He was the face of influencer.
And like he was supposed to be like guy, like you know the talk thing, like oh he's our Deontay Wilder, like he could go pro. This I'm gonna take. Like now all that's left is KSI versus Jake.
And Jake, that's what I'm saying.
And that is it.
This is the end of influencer boxing, probably as we know it. Like people say what they want, but no one is gonna sell out arenas like KSI or Jake. No one is gonna do that. Like Logan on his own probably won't even be able to do that. So KSI, this card was so big. Like you're not gonna have that again. Like you're not gonna like Salt's gone. Salt's hype is gone. You know, Logan says he doesn't want to box anymore. Apparently, Jake is who knows what he's doing. If that fight happens with Jake and KSI, that's what I'm saying. Who is on that card? Do you do the Kenny versus Gibb? Do you do like I guess when the moment comes, then we can really plan out the card. But it's like now after that, KSI is done, bro. KSI is done.
The only fight left is that KSI Jake.
Yeah.
I think that's the only thing people care about seeing. Like always, no one cares who's a better boxer. This literally just showed us that none of them are like boxers.
Yeah.
Right? You're fighters. If you want to go and scrap it out, at this point you just want to see a scrap with him and Jake.
Exactly.
Right? Like, you might even just take it on like how freaking the Nelk boys had Steiny out there with Derek from Better
in the street, bro.
In the street. At this point, I just want to see them go at it because I've been watching it too long. After that, I really just don't care.
We're done. After that,
I think the scene's done. I don't personally care about the scene anymore. I think most people after like these co-main events, because of how just genuinely, I'm just come out say how boring they were, and how like it really just showed like the level sis. And damn, you would think like after this long, like maybe they'll look more technical. And it's not to pretend like, oh, I'm some sick boxer or something. Like I suck at combat sports, whatever. But like as a fan watching it, like don't act like that was entertaining to watch. Like I watched a hug fest. Like
this is what I'm saying too. Like Dino and Leader is the best because they look both technically better than the rest of everyone. But it's like I'm not coming here to pay money or whatever to watch this pay-per-view.
Where two mans are gonna clinch for 30 minutes and they get a questionable draw.
You're just hugging like you're just hugging. I'm here to see you guys battle it out. Like everyone, you're coming off that Logan fight too with Dylan. So you're like, okay, that was a disgrace to pro boxing.
Oh my god, this is gonna be the one that solidified. And then it's like, wow, that might have been more boring.
Literally,
at least with Dylan gave us. At least with Dylan, we saw shades of like some combat sports.
And to add on top of that too, bro, I really don't like the Misfits commentators, bro. They got Coach from WWE on there. I don't like. It's just like sometimes they sound really biased.
Yeah.
Too. They don't sound as energetic. They sound like they don't know a lot about
Wade
the
and
sport.
Sensei back
exactly.
on the thing,
Give me
bro.
Wade at it. Give me a Sensei. Give me whoever. Like it makes all the difference. This guy's calling Logan Jake Paul on commentary. Like I don't want to hear. Like that just adds to it too. Like the influencer boxer is going downhill after this. Jake and KSI will be like the Spider-Man No Way Home hype of the last like hurrah of it, and then after that I don't think Misfits like they can try to put on shows, but it's not gonna be as successful as before.
Like, you can just make them YouTube videos.
Yeah,
like,
facts. Like,
ain't no pay-per-views after that. But it's also like I think what this card really showed us is like I think the lure of this whole influencer scene is gone now, because the whole lure before was like you always had that like what if, like what if one of these guys steps up against a real fighter, like are these guys legit enough to go and take them. That's why like that big lure is with Jake, where everyone was watching like where initially where he's like he's taking on the MMA
and he
guys,
beating
like,
them,
damn, this influencer, like, oh, maybe he can be the guy to take down a boxer. He wasn't the guy. Then you get to KSI. Is KSI gonna be the one take out a boxer? He's not gonna be the guy. And that was like with Tommy Fury, like any other person, I genuinely think would have probably ended.
And then it's too
and
like.
then you even get like Salt and stuff. Like the whole word Salt was like,
he could be a pro.
We were like, damn, this guy could be a pro. Like maybe he's
crazy,
the guy.
bro.
And then he's not the guy.
Yeah.
So it's like the whole lure of this whole like, and then you have Anthony Taylor, who's not even good.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I don't think he's good. But he's out here taking out Kenny, who's again supposed to be one of the best technical people. So it's like you get all these people going at it, and it's like they all take these L's down. And now it's like, damn, we really need to stay in our own lane because it is clear separation now. And it's like the whole lure of like that, oh my god, maybe someone's gonna be. It's like how you had that when McGregor fought Mayweather. Why that fight was so big. Everyone knew Mayweather was supposed to win. Yeah. But there was that chance that maybe Conor will be the guy to put him out, right? And now it's like, who's like there ain't no Logan ain't fighting Tom. And then it's like getting cooked by Tom.
And then it's like it also was like the influencer part of the boxing.
The influencer part.
These guys,
like,
sometimes these guys don't even upload. You don't know who half these people are anymore. You're getting OnlyFans girls to fight. Like it's just like I don't know who you guys are anymore. The only people I care, a lot of people are like the only people we care about is like Salt, KSI, some people Logan. You know, and it's like the rest. It's like I don't watch Slim. I don't watch Nick Lamau. I don't watch whoever, bro. Like Swarms is just a musician. He's not a YouTuber. You know, it's like I don't know who these guys are. Why wasn't Deji fighting on this card? It's like, you know, like where are the people that I want to see? You know, where are the guys like from the beginning of the scene to now? It's just like I don't know who these people are. I don't care about them. I don't care like to have them fight or whatever on the card. Like I just want to see Jake and KSI, and that's it for me at least.
And I don't really want to see that just because like at this point it's like fine, we're all finally on that even playing field. This is supposed to show us like who's gonna be the A side. At that point you're both even. Get in there, scrap it. Neither of y'all are like showing technique. Whatever, whoever lands that one blow, I think they can put each other out.
And I know it's like the scene is hard to make because a lot of YouTubers or these guys have egos and they don't want to sign the fight. It's like it's like Gib, like he doesn't want to sign because
just sign the fight. Like people are gonna
like,
forget about it.
No, it's like yo, the scene's about to die, and you're not gonna fight. Like
and you couldn't start your own promotion. You tried it. It's not gonna work. The Misfits is the only place that they can do it.
Exactly.
It's the only one that can last, and credits them. They made this ride as long as it can. But I think where it's like it's starting to get that point where it's like, I think we pushed too far. No, now it's like we realize we gotta dial it back.
You brought in pro boxers and you brought in actual fighters for people that
kind
weren't.
of just legitimized your own scene.
Yeah, so that they did it to themselves, and a lot of people were warning them against this. I didn't care for this Tommy Fury fight, to be honest. He was just doing it because he wants to prove he's better than Jake Paul. Well, this is what you get. So it's like.
And again, it's like, I still don't know if he won. I just think it was a draw, and whatever. You know, he went out there. It wasn't on him to like. It wasn't on him to go and like
be a boxer.
Be a boxer, right? But it's like. It was kind of just one-dimensional. It was just unfortunate.
Yeah, Joe Fournier was boxing like out there, like.
And I do feel for him, man, because like you could see the passion, especially at the end when he was on the mic. Like he was so hurt because he puts in that work. He trains as hard, and like yes, he deserved to win, right? Like as a person, he deserved to win. Yeah. But it's like once you get in the ring, the boxing speaks for itself, right? Yeah. So, I mean, that's our take. I don't know. Overall, like where if you have to rank the card,
I'm giving a 7.5. Out of 10.
To be real with you, I'm at like a 5 or 6. Bro, we watched that one FC fight after. I was showing you Raw Tank versus Super Leg.
Yo, I would can't be comparing that to.
No, I'm saying like, I'm just saying like, I'd rather watch that like the video like 10 times over than whatever.
I'd give it like a 7 because you know the league was entertaining. Saw Poppy upset. You know Dylan's antics at the end. You know because I'm looking at it from an influencer perspective.
Yeah,
you know?
No, like it had its moments, but like it's like it wasn't.
If I'm looking at it from a fight perspective, I'm giving that a 3, bro. Like
no, like not even from the fight, but even just like entertainment while I was watching the car, I was like, damn, like when it ended, I was like, shit,
this sucks.
I wasted a bit.
This sucks.
Like bro, like when KSI versus Logan 2, that was like. Like the KSI Logan 2, that was like I left that thing like damn, even that was an event.
Even like the one with I think it was Swarms where Deji and Fuzi were fighting, like all these guys are fighting. Like the whole card was proper, you know.
Now it's just like you see all these big names going on. It's like damn.
Maybe it's just because everyone we want to win lost, so like
maybe
we're
that
just
could
like
be it too.
Yeah,
that could very well be it too. All right, yeah, I don't know. It is
what
it is.
Like, we're gonna be hopefully whenever the next big influencer card happens, you know, we'll be covering it here. Stay tuned for basketball, football, everything else. UFC. Let's start that ONE FC soon, bro.
We might be out of things to talk about, bro. This
when it comes to the scene, y'all, we might just hang it up and be like, yeah, see y'all.
Dylan, one more repost before we go, please.
But we will see y'all on the next video.
Peace.